Hey y'all, how you doing? This is Alan of Alan's Trains and Things, and I've been wanting to get what I got here for quite some time. When they came out, when these neat little devices or neat little things we call locomotives, when this particular one came out, they sold super fast, and I was able to happen to snag one. What I have is, I'd say, the brother, one of the big brothers, little brothers of the famous steam engine that is on tour right now, and that's 4014. I have, and hopefully you guys can see it. I've got 4018. I'll play a little bit of, this is number 3. This is the short whistle, or the short whistle. Here's the long. I've been wanting this locomotive for quite some time. I had 2 unsuccessful attempts with steam locomotives, and let me pause this and get up off my feet here. Well, I'd actually like to show you here as soon as I get to, see if I can kind of change a position here so you can kind of oversee the engine. This one's got the coal. Far as I know, these engines are definitely, unless you got one on layaway somewhere, you got one that your hobby shop is holding for you or something like that, I don't even think you can get them anymore. I want to say about 3 months ago, 6 months ago, when they were just about gone, I asked about one of the engines, and the 2 engines that they had, 4014 was already sold out. I mean, anything with 4014 was already sold out. The engine that they had, or the locomotive they had, was 4018 and 4023 at Spring Creek. And here's kind of some up-close shots of it. And here's the front of the number boards and that. Everything looks pretty good. I checked the with the NMRA gauge. Checked all the wheels. They were the drive wheels were totally in sync. They were totally okay. These here were the rear pilots. All the centipede wheels on the tender were as well. The back pilot is slightly off a little bit, but I don't think it's enough to hurt anything. Now, on mine, and let me get up here in just a second here. I had to do a little work on the tender, and I'll tell you why. I ran a few laps. You know, I heard some of the guys that have got these say that you want to run at least an hour in forward and just about an hour in reverse, and let all the gears get in sync and everything like that. Get them all synchronized and get them, to where they're lubricated, because of the, things they kind of run a little rough, at first. So I let it run a little bit, and I did notice, if you see right there, let's see if I can get let me grab my pointer. I had to do a little what we call modeler's repair. Okay. when I was watching, that wheel there wouldn't turn. Or no, that one would turn. This guy right here wouldn't, and this guy over here wouldn't. Well, what they have on the inside of these wheels is they got little metal wipers that come out of the tender, and those wipers rub up against the the wheels, and that's what makes your your sound and everything like that. Well, the wipers were pushed out too far, and they weren't letting the wheels do. They got to move just a little bit on the track. No matter what you do, those wheels have got to have a little bit of play. And so I moved them in, and on each one of those wipers and on inside the wheels, I put just a little smidge of no-ox ID. And I'll tell you what, made a big difference. Big difference. And so we'll give her a fast toot. Okay. Now we'll stick her in forward. She's in forward, and now you can see the wheels all are turning with no problem. And like I say, those two from it was these two right here that would not turn. Okay, I want to show you something else, and let me get up to show you that. We're going to stop her. This engine, this is what's cool. This is what really surprised me. I didn't know how it was going to do, because this engine, being as long as it is, as long as this engine is, I didn't know how it would do going through my Kato number 4 turnout. Like I said, I had 2 unsuccessful I'll try to get this out one more time. Bear with me, my throat isn't perfect. I've had some little trouble with it since I had my stent pulled out. I've had 2 unsuccessful attempts with Kato engines, the 844 in particular. I had one that was DCC non-sound, and then I had the DCC sound, and I've rarely done whatever with that, and that stupid thing was either bouncing around like a wild donkey kicking its back feet in the air, and it just wouldn't run worth a darn. And I think Kato needs to do better. I think Athearn has done a hell of a job building these engines. And when an engine as long as this, and it's pretty long little dude, let's run her forward. And let's see if you can see her go through the turnout. I backed her up real slow. I'm not going real fast. You can see the engine pivot. Like I say, I'm not going real fast. Running through just like the real one does. This is going through a number. This is a number 4 turnout. And look, I've got all that length, and that engine is pulling through that turnout like nobody's business. Centipedes are going through there. Not too bad. Everything that I can see is turning perfect. And we'll pull her out of here. And I'm gonna do another video because I want to show you guys some more. I am excited about this engine. The only little thing I had to do is I had to fix the wheels. Because the wheels weren't turning. Other than that, oh, this has been something else. And do I want to see 4014? Oh yeah, I want to see it. I wanted to see it today, but didn't get to. Okay. Okay, we're into the next one. Let me get my spectacles on. As you can see, we're there on the curve. We switched the number 3 turnout. And then you'll see, I'm going to turn the light off. You can see when I hit in reverse. Back up light. I'm going to back her up. She's still a little, she's got a little bit of jumpiness, not too much. Some of that I think was because, let's make sure, yep, all the wheels are turning. Those 2 wheels were dragging, and so, but like I say, she's got just a little bit of backing up, and so we might need to run her in reverse for just a little bit, and let her do her thing in reverse. Run her a few laps. I wished I had some of those rollers. I know where I can get me some, but I wished I had some rollers that I could do my test on. But it don't hurt to put, you know, the engine through the paces, and we'll show you here on the curve how she does on the curve. The one wheel right after the first one has a little bit of lift, and I don't know if that's because of the bent wheel or because of the driver. The driver might be lifting it up a little bit and causing that wheel lift, but other than that, thing does pretty darn good. And like I say, I've been, like a lot of people, I've been wanting this engine for a long time. Just kind of had to wait a little bit before I could get one, and was able to get mine, and it's some engine. Like I say, that front wheel lifts just a little bit, and I don't know if that's because it's a bent wheel or just has a lot of play. It's kind of jumping just a little bit. When she comes back by, I'll show it again. It could be, like I say, could be it's a bent wheel, or it just, and we need to get another wheel for it. Other than that, that engine, running it through a number 4 turnout, that long of an engine, hey, I didn't know for sure if it would make my curves or not, but it's doing pretty good. I need to get some cars behind is what I need to do. That's what I need to do. Yeah. Excuse me. We're not running it real fast, about 13 speed step. Just kind of letting it do its thing. That's the 245-67 steam excursion caboose. And you can see the wheel there. It's kind of jumping just a little bit. Like I say, I don't know if we got a bent wheel, maybe a little bit, or we just need to. And I'm sure we probably can order another one. So, but I don't think it's that. It's not really. It's not actually causing the engine to have too many problems. It hasn't derailed or anything like that. So the engine's not jumping around, acting. You know, it's not acting. It might be just a wheel that's kind of floating a little bit. So. But I wanted to show you this guy. Show you guys this. I'm sorry, like I say, my throat is kind of. It's been kind of trying because after that procedure or whatever, and that it's been kind of hard for me to talk. And something else. Okay, we'll slow her down. Now that's the only wheel that I see. All the other wheels are pretty well staying pretty well. Like I say, that's the only wheel if this will focus in. You know, a darn phone, if it wants to focus, sometimes it does not want to focus. But that wheel the second one right after the first wheel, she kind of floats a little bit. Let me move her. If you can see. But the only thing is, she's got a lot of stuff there tied in with her, so it might be might be doing it just a little bit. Other than that, that's the only thing I see wrong with this thing. I mean, and I don't call that nothing being wrong, because I think it's a pretty darn good engine. It's just learning the little ins and outs about it. I'm gonna find out if and like I say, I don't think that would be a problem with that. Well, I was trying to find something to had some. Hang on, just a second. This engine, like I say, I've been waiting for this for a long time, and finally got something that finally got a steam engine that I can run on my layout and not worry about having problems like I did with 844. I would love 844 better, but 844 just got to be a problem. And I don't think the ones at Cotto know how to do them very well either. This is another thing that I got, if I can show you guys. This is my Canadian National High Cube car set. I know these things are pretty popular. They were popular when they first came out, and I got me a set here at Spring Creek, and I think that's the last set that they got. These are the ones that have the. I can do this and without having, overshadow or whatever. These are the ones that have the 36-inch metal wheels and made up pretty darn well. So we might give them a try and see how they work. But got them and got me another set of Gunderson Maxi 1 double stacks. And so we can have another set to do with there. We're going to extend this just a little more and finish this up. So stay tuned on to the next one. Okay. Like I say, and we'll get one of these out so you guys can see what it looks like here. I don't know if you guys are seeing this or not, but I think Microtrains did a... Hang on just a second. Okay, let's see if we can see this. I think Microtrains done a pretty good job. I think they did a pretty good job building these. They look pretty darn good. They're the high cubes. You can see. Let's see. It says excessive height car. Get my finger out of the way. It says excessive height car. And CNCA. This is 795 and 166 DWC. The first set of these cars that Microtrains came out, and like I say, these cars have the metal wheels on them. And they don't look too bad. I still like the plastic myself. I guess I've always been a plastic wheel, but Microtrains came out with these, and I think they did a pretty good job. That's something that's neat. They on the coupler boxes, they screwed them. They put actual screws on the coupler boxes. I think they kind of fancied these up pretty darn good. And let me take that back off and see if we can. Okay, now you might be able to see this. Important. Close this door close this door before closing main door. Important. And then it's got it in that wording. It's got the weight limits. Number 24 brake shoes. It's got your weights. I don't know when this was built. Let me see if it shows when it was built. Give me just a second here. Let's see if we can see when it was built here. Kick on the light again. Well, I don't think it shows. Maybe it does show when it was built. I can't remember. I was trying to see, but sometimes it helps to have a little extra lighting, and sometimes it don't. But let me see if I can see. I'll pause this and see if I can. Yeah, Microtrains kind of. Sorry, this might see my leg there. Microtrains kind of, and again, I guess my light is not really good. They put cut levers on there and everything on there, and that's kind of fixed these up, kind of tricked them up a little bit, and with the metal cup holding the metal box on and cut levers, I think they did pretty good deal with this. I think this is pretty sharp. Well, we'll check and see how this does going down my ramp here just a minute, and then we'll put her behind the engine and see how it does. A train don't look like a train unless it's got a few cars behind it. So we're gonna break these this set of 3 here, and we're gonna put them on the track, and we're gonna see how 4018 does. I want to keep on saying 4014. 4018 does with its few freight cars and the caboose. Alright, we got the 3 cars all set up. We're gonna put 4018 in reverse, and back up and hook up to the caboose. Well, I thought it was hooked up to the caboose. Sometimes the couplers don't always do what you want them to do. Let's pull it forward and rehook up the, well, that might have, yeah, it might be hooked in. Let me see here. Hang on just a second. Sometimes, like I say, some things don't always want to hook up like you want. Alright, we got her going. Well, that thing sounds good. Here, listen to that generator on there. Just like the real one. Just like the real one. We're pulling the short freight out of here. Ran it for about an hour earlier. When I got here at home. So I thought, well, we'll put a couple cars on there. It's not no, and those cars with those 36-inch metal wheels that Microtrends puts on there, they roll pretty darn smooth. You can see the boiler when she swings out. When I was up there at Spring Creek today, the ESU guys from ESU Lock Sound was there. Matt and Alec was up there. Pretty neat seeing them and talking to them, and they were showing the controller, the ESU Lock Sound controller. Had a pretty good group of guys up there. Alec and Matt and their kids and their sons went out to West Nebraska and followed and put microphones, and they might have put cameras on 4014 and to get the sounds and that off of 4014 to get the authentic sound. So if a person wants to have a good sound file of 4014, that's what they done. They followed the engine all the way to Fairbury, Nebraska. And they got their mics and stuff like that, and they used really high quality mics. And then they went to Spring Creek and done that little had a pretty nice little talk there. It was really neat to watch that and talk to those guys and meet them and see some of the neat stuff that they do at Lock Sound and what they're coming out with, and some of the decoders now you can set them up is absolutely amazing. And going into one more segment, and please follow along. And Gonna do just a little bit more here, and we'll bring old 4018 to a stop. We just, like I say, we wanted to show you guys this and kind of show you what we're proud of here. And I'll tell you what. Well, we'll move her here, and I'm gonna try one thing here. I know when I was trying to back up my 844, we'll go around the oval here, and we'll back her up. I was trying to back up 844 on that inner track, and as I was backing up, 844 on this turnout derailed. That engine literally derailed on me, and it was sparking, and I had to get it off. And like I say, this engine is still a little jumpy. I mean, might need to run it a little bit more, but otherwise, just get the gears in, get them going and everything like that. But when 844 done that, I mean, I immediately called him at Spring Creek, and I said, guys, I got to bring this thing back. I mean, and I hate to say this in my video, but I'm going to be up front. Kelly Dunsford is the one that does the installs at Cotto. And to me, and like I said, this might sound like I'm being rude, or it might sound like I'm slightly rude, and it might sound like I'm a little whatever and that, but to me, most of the stuff that Kelly does is pretty well on par. But there's some things that he does a shitty job. And the 844s, to me, when he done the 844s, he did a shitty job. Now, I don't know if he'll ever see this or not, and if he ever does, I don't know if he'll comment and not like it, but I'll tell you. The reason why I say that is because, like where you see my tender there, on the 844, when he put the decoder inside here, and this thing, like I say, it's working perfect. I mean, other than those wipers being a little wide and I had to move them in, and I put a little bit of no-ox on there, this thing is running, turning, working perfect. Athearn knows how to build these engines, and I think they build the 844 and the 30. I know they did the 3985. I wish they would build more 844s, because if they're doing them like they're doing this little guy, I buy one. I would say on Cotto, because for the most of it, Cotto has pretty good stuff. I mean, I applaud them on I'll say 95%, but at 5%, and it's because who's doing the installments. I'm not saying that and I'm not totally throwing him under the bus, but he could do a little bit better when he's doing the installs. I mean, yes, I know he's got a lot of installs to do. That's understandable. But when you're doing an installment, and you're a professional company, and you're doing this for several thousands of people, you don't have your tenders filled with so much decoder, that the tops of the decoders are bulging out. It was actually like it was so forced in. I mean, everything was so packed in there that it was forcing the top of the shell up out of the tender, and it looked terrible. I mean, it just didn't look good. And on Cotto's engines, and I don't know if it's because they don't get them synced right, but there should be somebody there that should get the synchronization, whatever, should get the synchronization like I said, my throat. Right. Because the back end of the engine bounces up and down. This engine here, I don't have no complaints about it. And it's got a little, a little jerkiness, which, with a little bit more running time or whatever now, we'll get that all out. But this engine, I'll tell you, going through this number 4 turnout, which my 844 didn't really do very well. When I had my 844 on this inner track, backing up with a set of cars, I've got 3 cars here. Backing up with a set of cars, the engine derailed on the turnout. That's not supposed to happen, folks. That's not supposed to happen. And like I say, if I'm being whatever that to somebody, excuse me for saying what I said, but I think their installing department could do just a little bit better job at doing the installs than what I seen. And I think my engine would have ran better if things would have been done a little bit better, when the installs was done. For the most of it, the diesels and everything, perfect. No problem. I don't have nothing wrong with them. But there's something with the steam engines that they need something meshing a little better than what they do. But anyhow, back to my 4018. Like I say, one of the 4014, it sold out super quick. I called it 3 or 4 places. They were all gone. And so I called up at Spring Creek and I said, talked to the secretary, I know Sharon. I said, Sharon, you still got a couple engines? And she said, 4018, 4023. That's the only 2 we got left. And I said, set me back a 4018. And so they set me back one. And there she is right there. Had her sitting there. Now she's on my layout. So I'm pretty proud of this engine. Pretty proud of it. And it's just like I'm sitting there watching the real one do its thing. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm sorry if this is a little blurry. My phone, for some reason, I don't know if I need an update on the firmware on this or what, but sometimes it just doesn't want to focus very good. I guess it's because I don't think it's the lighting, but I think sometimes she just does not want to focus very good, and this thing might need an update. But guys, I appreciate you watching. Please let me know what you think about this. Trying to get this thing to focus, and I don't know why it does not. This camera does not want to focus. It's being a bear's butt. But again, please, I know I don't have no fancy stuff or whatever that says subscribe all the time down on the bottom, so that's why I got to say myself. If you haven't subscribed, please do. If you have, I thank you so much. Give me a comment. Let me know what you think about this 4018 that I got. And I think she's a keeper, definitely. And this is something that I've been wanting. I've been wanting a steam engine for a long time, but I want a steam engine that runs well. I don't have no problems with. And just that little minor thing with the wheels, everything's okay. So, again, thanks again for watching Alan's Trains and Things, RDA N scale. And hope you're having a good week so far. We're into a new week. This is Tuesday. So we'll see you later. Ring the bell. Give us a thumbs up. Thanks again for watching RDA N scale channel. We'll see you. Alan.